You can tell us the story on the air if you want. If you want, it's up to you.
That's fine. I have no problem with that.
Hi.
Yeah.
We're just.
Hi, Jody.
Hi.
Glad to have you back.
Good to see you guys.
All right.
So, you were saying.
You have dogs.
Yes, we have dogs.
And time, and parking, and cars, and
Every-
travel.
And red lights.
Red
Oh my God, we hit
lights.
every last. Ian said I actually ran one. Oops, I shouldn't say that. I was like, really? I didn't even notice. I didn't get caught, thank God, because that would have taken longer, you know?
That's
Oh,
all right.
it
We never have a dearth of stuff to talk about.
I bet. But what happened was we put the dogs in the car, and we do this all the time. We drop them at the farm on our way out. And it's just a mile down the road, and it's on the way.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and then we forget, but we remember, like, at the bottom of the road. Today, we didn't remember until we were another 7 minutes down the road. So guess what? We had to turn around, bring it back to the farm, and then take off.
We're dog friendly. You could have brought him in.
You could have brought
I
him
would have
in.
sat here. I would have been in heaven.
Yeah,
I get
dog-
to pat a dog.
Oh,
We could do dog
next
talk. Yeah.
time.
Next time,
Yeah?
bring the dogs.
What kind of dogs do you have?
One is mostly golden retriever. He's like half Irish.
Oh, he'd
setter
love being
also.
patted
Oh,
all
he loves it.
day.
Yeah.
They're lovable and stupid.
He's actually pretty smart. This one.
Oh.
Yeah.
But they know how to act stupid.
They do.
It's kind of like the myth of the dumb blonde. They're not dumb,
That's
but
right.
they know how to
That's
do
right.
it just right.
Yeah. But the other one's a little dumber. He's half German Shepherd and half a quarter yellow lab and a quarter golden retriever.
Mm-hmm.
And
That ought to be a whole brains trust right there, and yet.
yeah, I know.
Because we had a lab setter mix, and she managed to act completely dumb and goofy. But those things have, are actually very smart dogs.
You okay with the volume?
I'm wondering how I'm.
You sound good.
You sound fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
you're
Thanks.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you're just not getting.
If
a
you don't
super
hear
loud.
it in yours, he can turn it up a little
yeah.
for
Yeah.
you.
Do you need more volume in your headset?
I don't know. I mean, I hear everybody, so.
Yeah.
I'm
Anyway,
fine. I'm fine.
but
I
yeah,
got plenty of things to turn.
we had dogs for quite a while, and it's only because we moved through a couple of apartments and stuff, and we've been traveling more not the last couple of years, but we had been traveling more, that we've not had dogs lately. May get back to it.
So, anyways,
So you had this deadline from the Attorney General's office.
Yes, this
It
coming
looms
Monday.
is the word they use.
Yes.
Monday's deadline to comply with an order from the Attorney General's office looms. The Croydon School Board stands firm in its decision to continue sending 5 students from a small school district to a private school. And the looming day has come and gone.
No,
No,
Monday.
it's still
It's
Monday?
The 28th.
Monday's still. Oh,
Yes.
okay. What's the date on this? All right, never mind.
Yep.
Okay, it's Monday.
That's
It's
okay.
still looming. All right,
It
it's
is.
looming.
2 more days.
And you've made it clear that you believe you guys are following the law, which we've gone over in great detail, and you clearly are. And then thank you to Chuck Douglas for reminding us of the specifics that they keep leaving out.
Yes.
But so that's where we are. You're still moving ahead with your plan. I wrote about that interview, by the way, and I got to tell you, at watchdog.org, that was very well received. A lot of people were excited about that.
by the way, we should make it quite clear to the listeners right now. This is Jody Underwood. She is the chair of the Croydon School Board. And that because you have no high school of your own, you had been in an agreement with a neighboring town to send the high school kids there. And they
More than high school, 5th through 12th grade.
Okay,
Yep.
but they decided to cut the contract.
We did. We decided.
All right. And now you are sending some children to some private schools, and that has sent the educational industrial complex here in the state of New Hampshire, all of the bureaucrats, in a tizzy. You can't do that. You have to stay in a union school, is really what it comes down to.
It is, kind of, right? I mean, even Croydon Village School doesn't have union teachers.
Yay for you.
Yeah. But yeah, it has, I mean, it's related to that, but nobody's, connecting those dots specifically. I think it's also about just the state being in control. Oh my God, if they go to private schools, they don't have to take the Smarter Balanced assessment.
Oh, that's money.
Yeah, it is
You're
money.
going to take money away from
There we go.
fat
We
cat
found it.
bureaucrats.
Follow the money.
Absolutely.
Always follow the money.
I'm sorry, I am in one of those moods today where
Go
I
for
hate
it.
everybody.
So,
Oh, yeah.
so you're going to keep doing what you're doing. And is there any sense of what the AG is expected to do in response?
Yeah, actually. And you heard it here first.
Okay.
I mean, it's not official because it's not on paper, but yeah, they're going to take us to court. An injunction, I believe, is the right word, but I'm not positive about that. Again, not on paper. Hard to say for sure, but yeah, we think it's going to happen imminently.
Article 10.
Tell me what Article 10 is.
The right to rebellion in the New Hampshire Constitution.
And
you're married to the right guy.
I am. Oh, yeah, he's throwing all this stuff at me. Wait till he gets here. He's like, you should tell Chuck Douglas this and this. I'm like, he has experience in this.
Oh, I wasn't talking about your husband's words.
Oh.
The former state Supreme Court justice
that
probably can
right.
manage the Attorney General's office. Yeah. So Chuck's still on board.
Yep.
Come on in.
And he found parking 2 miles down the road, probably. Because it's 9:47 on a Saturday in Concord, New Hampshire.
Right.
And, yay, you made it.
They said we could take the dogs here next time.
Yes.
Just bring them with you.
Yeah.
Bring them right up.
Bring a little bowl for water.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got water, just squirt it right in the mouth.
So. Absolutely. I got extra. I have more.
Do you mind letters?
No, they're in the car.
Yeah. The dogs have them.
Yes.
The dogs ate my letters.
Welcome.
All right, so.
Hi
there.
Okay.
They're in the car.
All
right, forget it. That's fine. That's fine.
He's going to have to go for a 2-mile walk to get the letters.
He'll be back. They'll be off. It won't be worth it. Yeah.
No, we're here till 11. We'll just keep going. All right, so AG's office says stop. You guys say, nah.
Well, I mean, it's interesting. Our selectmen in the town of Croydon had a meeting on Tuesday in which they said the AG's office is actually asking them to do something that is contrary to law. Mm-hmm. They're telling them...
Surprise!
Can you believe it? They're telling the town that they are under law not allowed to give money to the school district, but they must give it to the SAU. And they're like, and what RSA does that say? We've always made out a check to the school district. And the address is the SAU because they handle it. The school board told us to send it to another address. We're still sending it to the same people. By law, we're following the law. So what?
Apparently they forgot what the A stands for in SAU.
Yeah.
Administrative, form of administer,
yeah, exactly.
manage.
And, there's also an RSA that talks about the treasurer's role is to write the checks, disperse the money. Like, that's what we're doing. So, yeah, they asked our town to do something not under law, and they're saying...
Well, that's what they're doing anyway.
We're not going to do it.
I mean, the AG's office says, we went through the law. We went through the RSA the last time you were here. There is... what you're doing is perfectly freaking legal. There is standing all over the place for sending students into other states and paying them with taxpayer money from New Hampshire to go to their schools.
Let alone our special ed kids who go to private schools. Because why? Because the public schools don't serve them. Guess what? They don't serve others, regular ed kids. Why should they suffer? Because they don't get this label of special ed. It doesn't make sense.
Has anybody tried to figure out their motivation short of the earlier mention of the union thing? But, this is just dumb. What are they...
What it shows is that the whole... It's showing up the hoax of local control when you go against the bureaucratic elite. We try to have the semblance of local control of schools here in New Hampshire. And what this is showing is that you have local control as long as you are controlling the way we want you to control.
That's right. That's exactly right. Our town voted for it.
But, there's a deeper issue. There's always a deeper issue, right? So part of it is one of the ways that...
Turn your volume up.
That I'm listening to.
Yeah, we can do that. Go ahead, sorry.
So
Ian's fine.
We've gotten to the point where there's this idea that the law is whatever a person in authority says it is, right? All the way down to a police officer saying, I'm giving you a lawful order to stand on your left foot. And it's like, what's the law behind it? The law behind it is the person, right? So the AG, this is the way everybody's treating it. If the AG says it, it must be the law. If Virginia Berry says it, it must be the law. If the president says it, it must be the law. And that's, I think, actually much farther down and underneath all this stuff, more so than things like unions or local control. I think it's just the idea that the law is a sort of set of guidelines that you hope people in authority follow, but they'll do we've gotten to the point where the very fact that they say something they think makes it the law.
Isn't it interesting that people, and I can say from experience, because until this century I didn't really pay a lot of attention to government or any of that other garbage, and you used to just say, oh, well, so-and-so said it, must be true.
Right.
And you have actors pushing credit cards and stuff. Oh, yeah, great. Anyway, it's the same idea. And then, you get involved in it. And, one of the first couple of years I was politically active, I was doing New Hampshire Taxpayer Radio with Ed Nail, so I was learning all about municipal corruption and all the crap that goes on in your local towns with 200 people in them, towns with 25,000 people in them. It's all the same crap, because it's people, right?
Yeah.
And it's just nasty, it's brutish, and it's not short, it's long. This is long. There's a lot of this going on. It's very, very and that's just that people just assume that it's true. And the fact is, more often than not, it's not.
That's right.
Sure.
So you have to become a cynic.
That's right.
And you have to try to still be a happy warrior.
Right. Have to is
while
rough,
you're
though.
doing that, because otherwise nobody will talk to you.
Yeah. Right. I mean, so the small minority in my town who is against us sending kids to private schools, as I understand it, because they can't articulate it any better, it's because the state said so.
Right.
How can you argue with how the state's interpreting the law? And I feel like the state is not supposed to interpret law. The law is supposed to be clear, and they don't get to make law, and they are. That's what they're trying to do here.
Yep. And this is one of the fundamental changes that I have seen over the last 8 years. Gosh, who's been president since then? That the rule of law is what I say it is.
Bush was guilty
it's like we're
too.
all in Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
I mean, we come back to my favorite thing when you were talking about the Constitution. Words have meanings. Right. And the problem is lots of these nitwits think that their word supersedes the RSA's or their interpretation.
That's right.
That their expertise in one thing
exceeds the Constitution as well.
Exceeds the Constitution. Well, their experience exceeds the Constitution, but that their expertise flops into other areas of which they are just plain nitwits.
Right. Well, and this,
Nitwit,
I mean, if you
word
look
of
at
the day.
Yes, if you look at the even bigger picture, there's something you might call the cult of the expert, right?
Yes.
Where you aren't qualified to make decisions about medicine. You have to go to an expert. You're not qualified to make decisions about law. You have to go to an expert. You're not qualified to make decisions about education. You have to go to an expert. Right? So you've been training people for generations now to say, look, anything that's more complicated than, say, Winnie the Pooh requires somebody to stand between you and that document. So it doesn't even occur to you to look at the document. Right? You go to the person who's supposed to tell you what the document says.
No, I'm sorry. Winnie the Pooh's too complex.
It is. It's how
Dick and Jane, maybe.
But when I was on the budget committee, that was exactly right. And I will tell you the best example was a football team in Guilford. It was just a club level. And volunteers would do, the lines and the flags and everything. But as soon as they made the change that taxpayers were going to pay for this because they were going to bring it into the school system, then everybody had to be paid. Why? Well, because they'll do the job better. And I look at the internet and everything else. Look at, I'll go back, Rathergate, Dan Rather saying that these documents showed that George Bush was a liar until one real expert, a typewriter repair guy, showed this was never done back then. This is Microsoft Word. And with the technology was able to show, and he lost his job. That same disruptive force is what you guys can have now, because you as ordinary people, well, you're ordinary, she's the chair.
I don't know about ordinary, but anyway.
Yeah.
I have a PhD.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're ordinary.
But, yeah, I know. I'm trying to make a small little joke.
Right.
But anyways, through that, it's empowering ordinary people to say, you're wrong. And we can prove that you're wrong. So, it comes back to the ordinary person going against the state level, City Hall. And I applaud you for it.
Thanks.
I mean, it takes some guts. You're giving fulfillment to the word fearless.
We should somewhere fit in here that you don't need a master's degree to teach kindergarten, by the way. I just to throw it out there because my wife works in a kindergarten.
Yeah.
And she can run a class But she only gets paid like a third of what they get paid because you have to have somebody with a big degree to teach kindergartners about where to sit on the carpet.
Because now they're what do they call it?
Paraprofessional.
Yeah, no.
Well, that's what my wife says,
you
yeah.
need your master's because that will prepare you more for teaching in a class. Wait,
It's absolutely wrong. I have a master's in
You
computer
need a
science.
master's in crayon and
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or that,
stickers.
Color.
or
masters
that
in
guy who was
stickers.
complaining about the debt that he's now in because he got a master's in puppetry. Go figure.
Masters
I got a
in puppet-
master's
Is
in
that what they're calling it now?
Yeah, I got a master's in computer science, and when I was at Digital Equipment Corporation, I had people who had dropped out of high school that were far better than I at writing code. It was just they were born to write code. That's all it came down to. That's all I could say, and they could run rings around me. So a degree is only as good as what you can apply it to.
Totally.
Computer science is not programming either, though.
Right.
They're different.
Right. We both have
Computer
masters
science
in computer
is the
science,
study
actually.
of programming and how programming works and how compilers work and what it means, what's computable, what's not.
Yeah, but you're
It's-
supposed to be able to use that in actually doing that stuff.
Maybe.
It's the
You know,
philosophy
it's kind
of,
of yeah,
It's the philosophy of code.
something like
Something like that.
You know.
Anyway, we got about 40 seconds. So we're going to keep talking about this and whatever else comes up in the rest of the show. And because it's wide open. I didn't book anybody else. Because you guys are awesome. I need to replace you with
Yeah.
anybody else. But for those of you who are listening, don't forget to check us out on Spreaker, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Ustream, and, of course, at GraniteRock.com and on The Rock, NHCR.com. I am Steve McDonald here with Skip Murphy, Mike Rogers, and Jody and Ian Underwood. Don't forget we will be at Southern New Hampshire University next Saturday. From the Federalism Forum name, I can't remember the whole thing, but there's on the all-day event there. And the week after that, we will be at the RLC convention, and the whole month we're going to be on remote. So everybody stay tuned. We will be right back.